Yes, the Imperial John's back with another movie review. Today we're going to do basically it's a trilogy. We're going to do the Breaking franchise. And I say trilogy, yes. We know that it came out with 2 box office hits, but it had a prequel. And we're going to talk about the prequel today. The prequel is called Breakin and Enterin, which came out in 1983. And it pretty much stars the characters that inspired the movie. See, this movie came out, it was a documentary about the LA dance scene and about MacArthur Park in LA and the club Radiotron. The prominent characters in this documentary is Adolfo Quinones, also known as Shabba-Doo, who plays Ozone. And rest in peace to Shabba-Doo. We lost him recently, this past year. Also, we got Boogaloo Shrimp, a.k.a. Michael Chambers, and he plays Turbo in the movie. And we also have Ice-T. Ice-T makes a significant appearance in this documentary. He's like the only rapper in this film. Now, this film is just focused on the dance aspect. There's no real hip-hop in it other than Ice-T. And everything happens in that area. So they're talking about the MacArthur area park with the Radiotron over there across the street from it. And the LA dancing scene has been really hot since the early 70s. Now you got Shabba-Doo, who's from the legendary crew, the Lockers. And that was 1972. And in that same crew, they had Rerun, Fred Berry, the star of What's Happening. So the dancing has always been there. But the break dances didn't come until 1983 through the movie Flashdance with Jessica Biel. And Flashdance featured the Rocksteady crew, breakdancing in the beginning, and basically like little scenes throughout the whole movie. That movie grossed about $200 million and thus sparked the breakdancing craze across the U.S. And as you know, breakdancing has been popular in New York since 1974. So by 1983, the Rocksteady crew, the NYC Breakers, the Magnificent Force, they were professionals. And this was like a real big break. So LA has caught on to the breaking, but they had their original style too. They had a style called popping, locking, and boogaloo. I didn't do any of those dances any justice. But there's footage on it on the YouTube. You could click on the LA dance scenes in the 80s and they'll show you all the proper techniques, especially in this documentary. This documentary basically serves as like a tutorial. They pretty much teach you the dances and they run down the history of the dance street scene in LA. This movie don't feature a lot of hip hop at all. Like I said in the beginning, a lot of dance music. And it was pretty much tailor-made for the dance scene. So 1983 was a pivotal year, and the dance craze took over. And as I said before, when I was doing the tutorial about B Street, the dancing aspect part of the culture was the prominent of the hip hop culture. That was the one that was bringing us attraction. Not the DJ, not the MCs. It was the breakdancers. And shout outs to them. They created a whole craze and everybody took it over. Now, fun fact about it is the LA dance route started in the late 60s. As the late 60s was coming to an end, Soul Train came to town from Chicago in 1971. Now, fun fact about Soul Train, it's the longest running syndicated show in U.S. history. So that's a little caveat of Black History facts for you. And when the Soul Train run was happening in LA, the street dancers got on, and that's where Shabba-Doo comes in. Shabba-Doo was part of the legendary dance crew, the Lockers, since 1972. And it also featured Fred Rerun Barry of What's Happening from 1976 to 1979. So from Soul Train, they broke into a nice entertainment career. And you got those guys pretty much documenting the LA scenes of the time. It was a beautiful documentary. A lot of dancing, a lot of showing of the techniques, and an explanation of all those dances I just showed you, and all the characters that played a part in it. So you got Radiotron, a club that was basically like a teen club that went on to like 5 o'clock in the morning, which was pretty much unheard of now, because if you know about the LA party scene, you know a lot of the parties end at like 1, maybe 2. So this was a special club. This was like a hub for the dance scene, a teen club. They didn't serve no alcohol and anything like that. And you can't visit that spot because it's been tore down. It's horrible. But 1983, everything came into fruition, and the concept of a movie came out, and it was basically to serve as a message, and we're going to get into that a little bit when we start doing the actual movie review. But this documentary featured Ice-T dancing. You'll see Ice-T dancing. He does his thing, and you just gotta see it. It's on your YouTube. Go check it out. Breaking and Entering, and I want to do Breaking 2 and 1, and that's how we're gonna do.